somebody was driving past. I was recording moments ago, and somebody was driving past playing one of my favorite artists in the universe, B.O.B., Bobby Ray Simmons. So I had to do the video over. I enjoy being a parent. It's challenging. It has challenges and perks to this here parenting thing. I always saw myself being a parent when I was younger because I wanted to do things differently. My father had left. I had not seen him when I was younger. Like, what I mean by this is, at the time I was thinking this, my father was, my father was no longer in my life. He had pretty much just left without a word. Didn't know what happened at the time, what the situation was, and he did not communicate to me nor my mother, and he was just gone, you know. And it was a period of time where I just thought that, you know, my father was dead. I mean, I was like, I don't know where this man is. So when I was, I think a year, probably a little less than that, had went by, and I didn't hear from him when I was younger. And my mother was working a lot, because at that point my stepfather also had left. So my mother had to work. I was living with my aunt and my grandmother, like the Trinity, I like to call them. Just shifted, like it was like they were taking shifts. So at that time was when I was expressing to myself in my mind that, one, when the first time of being pregnant, I will shift at whatever point in time I'm in my life to be a mother, and whatever else that I was doing at that time was just gonna have to take a back seat. So that was about 11 or 12, probably around 12, and I knew that I was gonna be the primary caretaker of my babies, and I knew I wanted to have a lot of babies, because I grew up wanting a lot of siblings. I was the oldest, and I lived with one sibling and a couple of cousins who were pretty much like siblings to me. I wanted so many more folks to just be able to connect with and play with, in case there were folks that just, you know, that did not want to play with me. So that's pretty much how I just grew up, wanting to have more people to connect with and play with. And I knew that when I became a parent, that I was going to try to have more. Let's see if the plane will fly over. Yes. I'm so silly. I wanted to have more babies, and like now I do. I know for me and my husband, the goal is at this point to move into a bigger home. To move into a bigger home. That's our mission. And I say that because the goal before having a baby, or the goal with, having a baby, we wanted to move into our own home when we were living with our relatives. And that was throughout our entire 20s. So we didn't have a baby until we got into our 30s. Because we finally moved into our own home. And my husband's order operation before having a baby, he wanted to get married. So we did those things. And I'm grateful for it because it showed me that, regardless of age, whatever goals that we still had set for ourselves or desired, that we could still maintain that level of focus and make that happen. And I'm glad that we did. And that's one of the things that I'm really grateful for us, sticking to as a couple, as individuals, because he also wanted to be a father. And my husband grew up with a big family. One of his parents' side of the family had 8 kids. So we both, care to have our own, big family, for a number of reasons. He grew up with lots of cousins, and having the opportunity to, connect with a big family. And I just saw myself having one because of what I just did not grow up having. So that's where we are at this point, is being parents, focusing on that and making sure that we can handle the challenges, the upheavals of being a parent. And our vision just keeps getting bigger. We've accomplished, the vision that we set a few years back before moving out of our relatives' homes. Now we had that vision, and then we accomplished it. And now the vision is a bit bigger. And the vision at this point is to have a bigger family, and to afford a bigger family. So I think that's both of our goals at this point. Yeah. So anyhow, keep updating the vision. I had to get back to visualizing more consistently, because that's part of manifesting, is visualization. Feeling myself, the senses, all of the senses being used, because the brain has no clue what's real and what isn't. The brain does not know the difference. There's studies on that, so get a chance, look up those studies, and you'll see that what we imagine and what we've experienced in what we call the real world or reality, the brain does not know the difference. Update your vision and keep visualizing.